Magandang hapon po. Ako po si Chinkitan with The Bottom Line. Napakahalaga po na pag-uusapan natin ngayong hapon na ito. So ihanda nyo na yung ballpen nyo at papel nyo para maisulat nyo ng mga notes na ito. Ang pag-uusapan po natin ngayong hapon na ito are the 4 sources of income. 4 na pamamaraan kung paano tayo kumita ng pera. Ito po ay hango sa libro na sinulat po ni Robert Kiyosaki na tinatawag po nating Cash Flow Quadrant. At siya rin po ang author ng librong Rich Dad and Poor Dad. So number 1, source of quadrant or source of income ay tinatawag nating E. E stands for employment. Tayo po empleyado. We work 9 to 5 and then we get a salary a 15 at a 30. Ano kagandahan ng employment? Fix po ang income. Ano naman po ang disadvantages ng employment? Number 1, you have limited time, no? Fix ang time mo, no? And then aside from that, fix din ang ating income. Ang problema, ang gastusin naman natin, hindi naman fix. So may mga iba nagkakaproblema to make both ends meet. So let's go to the second source of income or second quadrant na tinatawag po natin na SE. SE stands for self-employment. Ika nga, you're a professional. Just like you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you're an actor, you're in sales, insurance sales agent, real estate. Ang kagandahan po dito, you own your own time. Flexible ang iyong time, hindi ka tali, just like employment. Ang income, unlimited. May mga ahente nga, di ba? Yumayaman, nakakabili ng bahay, nakakabili ng lupa, sasakyan. Kasi ang laway lang ang puhunan. Pero ano naman ang mga disadvantages? Ang disadvantages po ng self-employment ay once you don't have any more sales, wala na pong income. Ang source po ng ating income ay tinatawag po natin dito na linear income. Ang linear income is one straight line. When work stops, income stops. So, third source of income, ang tinatawag po naman natin, mag-business. B. Maganda pong magnegosyo. Dahil number 1, unlimited ang income. You are your own boss. You have your own time. Ano naman po ang disadvantage ng mag-business? Number 1, napakalaki ng kapital. May risk. Kailangan magpautang. Ang problema pa, minsan, kung nagpautang ka, kung sisinginin mo sila pa ang galit. So, yun po ang disadvantages. And fourth source of income ay tinatawag po natin ng I. I stands for what? Investment. Ang nung kaganda ng investment? Investment, you allow money and time to work for you. Bibili ka ng bahay at lupa. Or let's say you invest in the stock market. Put your money in the trust fund on time deposit. Kahit di tayo nagtatrabaho, yung pera na linaan natin o ininvest natin kumikita para sa atin. Ano naman po ang disadvantage ng investment? Ang disadvantage naman po, may risk. Minsan, you make wrong decisions like in the stock market. So, we have to remember that there are pros and cons to everything. Kaya napaka-importante kung gusto natin magkaroon ng time and financial freedom. No? Ano dapat natin pasukan? Mag-employment, self-employment, business, and investment. As much as possible, we get our income from 4 sources. Pero karamihan po ng mga milyonaryo, karamihan po naging successful ay nasa business at investment. Pero 90% po ng mga Pilipino ay nasa anong quadrant? Nasa employment and self-employment. So, we should make an extra effort na pumunta tayo sa business at investment. Magnegosyo, katulad na sinabi ni Senator Manny Villar, mag-entrepreneur tayo. The bottom line is, if we want really to gain financial freedom and time freedom, we need to go into business, we need to invest. So ano again yung 4 sources of income? Number 1, employment. 2nd, self-employment. 3rd, mag-business. And 4th, mag-invest. And then to end, ito parating sinasabi ng aking parents, no? Once you start making money, kahit na mag-business tayo, mag-invest tayo, ang dami-dami na nating pera. Pero kung hindi tayo marunong mag-ipon, magtipid, at mag-save, wala rin pong halaga ang ating pera. Always remember, pag walang piso, walang 100. Pag walang 100, walang 1,000. Pag walang 1,000, walang 100,000. At pag walang 100,000, wala ring milyon. Ito po si Chinkitan. Maraming salamat po. At susunod na linggo, pag-uusapan po naman natin yung ways to increase our cash flow. Paano po madagdagan ang ating cash flow, yung pagpasok ng ating pera. Abangan niyo po sa susunod na linggo. Maraming salamat po. Chinkitan, The Bottom Line. Magandang araw po. Ito po si Chinkitan with The Bottom Line. I have been in the industry of relational marketing for the past 12 years. Marami na rin ako mga pagsusubok na nadaanan, mga pagkakamali, at also success. So, bago po tayo talaga maging matagumpay sa negosyo to, kailangan po maintindihan po natin mga foundations o mga kaalamanan bago tayo ay maging successful. So, right now, let us start with the industry of relational marketing. So, bago po natin maintindihan ng relational marketing, kailangan maintindihan po rin natin ang mga ibang pamamaraan ng pagnenegosyo. Ang una po yung tinatawag nating traditional business. In traditional business, meron kang mga rental, meron kang fixed overhead, no? Kailangan magpautang at meron ding risk. Yun po ang disadvantage ng traditional business. At the same time, in traditional business, it's entirely focused on selling. Okay? Pag hindi ka nagbenta, wala kang kita. Indirect selling naman po, like Tupperware, real estate, insurance. Ito, maganda pong negosyo to. Pag may benta, may kita. Pag walang benta, wala ring kita. This industry is also focused entirely on selling. But in relational marketing, it's very different. Hindi to nakafocus sa selling. As a matter of fact, the more you are focused on selling, the less you will earn. Maybe nagtataka kayo, ano ibig sabihin? Kung mas magaling ako magbenta, mas maliit ang aking kikitain? Ito po ipapaliwanag ko po sa inyo. Like for example, in relational marketing, no, we're not focused entirely on selling. We're also focused on what we call as inviting and teaching. Mag-i-invite lang tayo at magtuturo. Halimbawa ko po sa inyo. Halimbawa, there are 31 days in a month. You want to focus on selling lang. Magbebenta ka lang. 31 days, you sell one product a day. So, pag nagbenta ka ng one product a day, you sold how many products in a month? 31. Pero ang tanong ko, unang tanong, first is, how many people you talk to? Ilang tao? 31. Number 2, is this part-time effort or full-time effort? It's full-time effort. It's dependent only on your own effort. Number 3, what type of income? It's called linear income. Pag sinabi po nating linear income, one straight line. When work stops, income stops. You're only good as your last sale. That's when you focus entirely on selling. Pero sa negosyong relational marketing, it's not focused entirely on selling. It's focused on what we call as inviting and teaching. Halimbawa naman po, it starts from you. Mag-invite ka ng 5 mong friends. Itong 5 mong kaibigan, nag-invite at nagturo din ng 5. 5 times 5 equivalent to 25. Pag in-add up niyo yung 25 plus 5 plus 1, that's a total of 31 people in your team or organization. First rule in marketing po, you must be a product of the product. Kailangan bumili muna tayo ng produkto. Subukan muna natin kung effective. So you just imagine, 31 people. Nag-trial lang ng tig-iisang produkto. Ilan ang production ng grupo mo? That's 31. Did you get the same result from selling and inviting and teaching? Selling, 31. One product day, 31. Inviting and teaching, 31 people. Buying one product, 31. Pareho po. Pero anong pagkakaiba? How many people did we talk to? 5. Next, is this part-time or full-time? Part-time, kasi 5 lang kinausap natin eh. And last, this is what we call as leverage income. When you say leverage income, it's not anymore dependent on your own effort. It's dependent on other people's effort too. Just like what Henry Ford says, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's effort rather than 100% of my own personal effort. Yun po tinatawag nating difference between selling and inviting and teaching. Next, ang question naman ng mga tao, pag sumasali sa ang ganitong negosyo, is, sino yung aking target market? Sino naman maglalabas ng ganung kalaking pera sa hirap ng panahon ngayon? Alam niyo ang agandaan mga kapatid, in this type of a business, iba po yung market natin. We're not looking for people who wants to buy, but we're looking for people who wants to earn. Ipapaliwanag ko po sa inyo. If let's say I take a survey of people around this room and magtatanong tayo, sino po sa inyo dito ang gustong kumita, magkaroon ng additional income? If I see a raise of hands, karamihan, 90% will say gusto nilang kumita. What if I ask the same group of people, sino man po sa inyo dito ang gustong gumastos pagkatapos po ng meeting at pagpapaliwanag ko, bebentaan ko po kayo? If I ask them to raise of hands, probably mga 5 or 2, kaunti lang. So that only proves 80% of people wants to what? Earn, and only 20% want to spend. Hindi naman sa ayaw nilang gumastos, pero walang budget eh. Walang panggastos. That's the reason why ang kagandahan sa negosyo to. Our focus is not to sell. If your focus is to sell, ang hinahanap mong group ng tao, yung 20%, yung gustong gumastos. Our focus here is to what? Invite and teach. Mag-invite ng tao gustong kumita at turuan din sila kung paano kumita. Malaki ba ang acting market? Yes, 80%. So huwag tayong matatakot. Ang target market natin hindi yung mga gustong bumili, pero yung gustong kumita. And lastly, we have to understand, if you want to become wealthy, you just follow or copy what the wealthy people are doing. Just like itong negosyo to, napakasimple lang. I just copy those people na naging successful. Like, if you want to become a millionaire, you just follow a millionaire just like Ray Kroc. Sino to si Ray Kroc? Ray Kroc is the owner of McDonald's, mga restaurants, no? And hamburger chains worldwide. My question to you, mga kapatid, ano po ang binibenta ni Ray Kroc sa McDonald's that made him a billionaire? Think for a while. A lot of people will say hamburger, French fries, yung mga foods niya. Yes, I do believe. Pero tanungin ko rin po kayo, meron ba kayong mga kamag-anak or mga kaibigan na mas magaling pa rin magluto ng hamburger kaysa kay Ray Kroc o sa McDonald's pero hindi naman sinyaman nila? That only proves 50% ng negosyo niya is selling hamburger and French fries. Pero anong pinaka-main business ni Ray Kroc? What's the other 50%? The other 50% is selling the system of what? Franchising. Likewise, in this business of relational marketing, yes, 50% na binibenta po natin yung products na binibenta, yung minumove po natin. Yung pension, education, and other types of product we are selling in MIB. But the other 50% is selling the system of what? Relational marketing. Ito mong sistema natin is we're not going to invest millions of dollars or millions of pesos. We only invest a few thousand pesos. Pero this is what we call as people franchising. Mga kapatid, sana naman po ay natutunan nyo naman ang basic ng relational marketing. Again, this is not focused entirely on selling, but this is focused on inviting and teaching. Maraming salamat po at pagpalain po tayong lahat. Maraming nagsasabi, para tayo maging matagumpay sa ating buhay, kailangan lang ay maging masipag at matyaga. Yes, tama po yun. Pero kailangan rin po natin maintindihan na kailangan maging matalino rin tayo. We need to work smart sa panahon ngayon. Kung ikukumpara mo sa isang Metro Aid na nagwawalis ng kalsada compared to a bank president, sa palagay nyo, sino po ang mas masipag at mas matyaga at mas mahirap pong trabaho? Definitely yung Metro Aid. Pero sino po ang mas pinapasweldohan na malaki? Definitely you, bank president. So, ganun din po sa negosyo. Nowadays, we need to understand the word called leveraging. If you want to become wealthy, kung gusto po nating yumaman, dalawa po ang bagay na kailangan nating i-leverage. Una, time. Pangalawa, money. Oras at pera. Just like Henry C. He has only 8 hours to work every single day. So, ano pong ginawa niya? Siya po ay nag-employ ng 1,000 employees working 8 hours for him every single day. So, 1,000 employees times 8 hours, a total of 8,000 hours working for Henry C. every single day. Anong tawag po natin doon? Ang tawag po natin doon ay time leveraging. Ginagamit ni Mr. C ang oras ng ibang tao para siya ay makinabang. Number 2, kung gusto mo po natin gamitin ang money leveraging principle, you have 35 million pesos in the bank. Ilagay mo sa time deposit. It gives you an annual income of 10% interest per annum. More or less, kikita po tayo ng 3.5 million pesos every single year na walang ginagawa. Yan po naman po ang tinatawag nating money leveraging. You allow money, o pera, ang nagtatrabaho para sa iyo. If you have this combination, yung tinatawag natin time and money leveraging, ay yayaman talaga tayo. Ano naman po ang relation yan sa relational marketing? Sa relational marketing, we also work on the same business model. Halimbawa, it starts from you. Nag-invite ka ng 5 tao. Yung 5 times 5 will become 25. 25 times 5 will become 125 times 5, 625. Pag tinotal mo po lahat yan, that's a total of 781 people in your entire team or organization. So, 781 people times 8 hours part-time, more or less, that's around 50 plus thousand hours working for you every single week. Kasi lahat ng mga effort ng mga tao, yung mga oras ng tao, papasok yan sa'yo eh. Ang question, makikinabang ba tayo sa relational marketing? The answer is yes. Yan po naman ang tinatawag nating time leveraging. Let's say naman, the same group of people, 781 people, mag-invest po sila ng 10,000 pesos each sa negosyo. 781 people times 10,000 pesos, that's around 7.8 million pesos in terms of your total group sales. In relational marketing, you get a certain profit. Meron tayong porsyento sa buong group. Let's say, bigyan tayo ng kumpanya ng 10%. Ano naman po ang 10% ng 7.8 million? 10% of 7.8 million is 780,000. Question mga kapatid, sino po naglabas ng 7.8 million? Kayo? O lahat tayo naglabas ng tigta 10,000, group natin naging 7.8 million. Hindi tayo nagpautang, wala tayong risk. But the difference is, you get a certain percentage sa buong group. Imagine nyo po, 10,000 ang linabas mo, ang bumalik sa atin is how much? 780,000 pesos. Yan naman po tinatawag nating money leveraging. Let me ask you right now, if you have these two things working for you, time and money leveraging, will you become rich just like Henry C? Yes. So that's the reason why mga kapatid, there's a lot of wrong perception, especially when you talk to traditional business people. Pag kinausap mo sila, o mag-i-invest ka ng 10,000, pwede kang maging milyonaryo dito, hindi sila maniniwala. Pero pag pinaliwanag po natin tong time and money leveraging, I'm sure maiintindihan po ninyo ang negosyong relational marketing. Marami pong tao nagkakaroon po ng wrong impression about this industry. Maraming ayaw sumali sa ganitong negosyo. Bakit? Sinasabi niya na yung mga tao lang sa tuktok ang kumikita, yung mga tao na sa ilalim ay hindi po kumikita. That's a wrong perception. Halimbawa, ipapaliwanag po. Just like Henry C., the owner of Shoemart, remember, he hired 1,000 employees, nagtatrabaho para sa kanya. My question is, will the 1,000 employees under him have an opportunity na kumita na mas maraming pang pera o malaki pang pera kay Mr. Henry C.? Definitely, the answer is no. Because he's the boss, he's the owner, and no one can make more money than the owner. Unlike in relational marketing, the one on top, yung nag-invite po sa inyo, yung sponsor nyo, will not necessarily make more money than you. Halimbawa po,